Coming up at 11, a Letcher County soldier that died in the Korean War is finally home.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. A Korean War veteran that was killed in action and presumed lost in battle in the 1950s is finally home in the mountains. WYMT's Zach Hawk has more from Whitesburg.
After nearly 70 years, a war hero is home in Whitesburg, and his nephew is there to greet him.
He was my idol growing up. He was a little bit older, but we grew up together, so we were actually closer than brothers at most of our lives until he left.
Donald Menken from Letcher County went missing in action during the Korean War in June 1953 at Outpost Harry, in what is considered one of the most vicious battles of the war.
Donnie refused to go. He stayed and fought for 3 more hours. He was stubborn, and he was not going to leave, so he didn't, and it ended up costing him his life.
In 1954, the 21-year-old Army corporal was declared killed in action and said to be unrecoverable in 1956. His remains were buried at the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific in Hawaii until 2019, when he was disinterred and identified. Receiving this closure confirmed a heroic soldier's story.
They were one of the few units to ever be given the command, hold at all costs. And they held at all costs because if they hadn't, then Seoul, which was the capital, would have been overrun.
His remains traveled from Louisville to Everidge Funeral Home in Whitesburg Wednesday, escorted by Todd Matonich with the organization Rolling Thunder. He says Kentuckians lined every bridge the whole way to Letcher County.
He is here. He's where he belongs, with his family, his community when he left, and it's very humbling to have him home safe and sound.
There will be a funeral for Menken this Saturday, May 14th.
It's really hard to be able to express your appreciation to all of the men and women that came out, all the first responders that have been with us, in front of us, behind us, all the way through. It's just been tremendous.
In Letcher County, Zach Hawk, WYMT Mountain News.
Menken's funeral will be held Saturday in Whitesburg. A service will take place at First Baptist Church at 1 p.m., followed by a graveside ceremony with full military honors. Fans of the late Naomi Judd will be able to watch a live televised memorial service for the country music legend on Sunday. CMT and Sandbox Live will air the service commercial-free at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be held at the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville. Performers and speakers have not yet been announced. Winona and Ashley Judd shared on April 30th that they had lost their mother due to, quote, the disease of mental illness. Naomi, who is from Ashland, Kentucky, was 76. After 30 years in prison, a Tennessee man sentenced to life in prison has been freed. Claude Garrett was convicted of the murder of his girlfriend Lori Lee Lance in 1992 after she died of smoke inhalation. A judge vacated Garrett's murder conviction, stating he, quote, has shown actual innocence. Investigators said evidence showed he set the blaze, but because of improved fire science, the Tennessee Innocence Project worked with prosecutors to show multiple ways it could have been an accident.
Well, it's been a gorgeous forecast as we've gone through the evening hours. Plenty of sunshine earlier today. That really helped warm us up. We got quite warm around the area, and all is quiet at this hour. We look outside at the moment. I-75 at Mount Vernon. It's all quiet, all clear. Interstate's moving well at this hour. High knob camera UVA-wise, mid-60s outside. Not too bad. Look at these high temperatures from today. We got warm in some spots. 86, the official high in Hazard. Same thing in London, Middlesboro, and Jonesville. I do know that Irvin got up to at least 87, and Williamson, West Virginia, got up to at least 89. And notice the first 90-degree day of the temperature, or the first 90-degree day of the year up in Louisville this afternoon. They're still at 80 right now. Many of us, well, we're kind of all over the place. Manchester's at 57, but Jackson's at 70. Middlesboro's at 60, so we're slowly seeing some of those temperatures drop out there tonight with clear skies. Shouldn't be an issue. Our clouds from earlier well off to the west, and we are still watching a couple of systems, one to our northwest, one to our southeast. It's going to kind of squeeze us together and give us a potential for some showers later this week. For us tonight, though, all quiet, all calm, mid-50s for most as we run through the night. I'll have the latest on when a few of those showers could move in coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. 2 men pleaded guilty to federal charges in connection to a cockfighting operation in Laurel County. The Herald Leader reports 55-year-old Ricky D. Johnson and 47-year-old Hiram B. Creech Jr. entered the pleas. Johnson's charges were related to conspiring to operate the Bald Rock Chicken Pit. Creech's charges stem from having a rooster for the purpose of fighting it. This is all part of a federal effort to stop the violent sport in Kentucky, which has resulted in numerous indictments. Tomorrow, Shannon Gilday will face an arraignment in Madison Circuit Court. He's the man accused of breaking into Wesley Morgan's Madison County home and killing his daughter Jordan while she slept. This arraignment will be on murder and attempted murder charges. He's also facing separate charges, accused of assaulting a corrections officer while in custody. His arraignment is set for 11 a.m. A motorcycle crash near Carr Creek Lake earlier this evening left several people injured. WYMT was able to confirm that 3 people were injured in the crash involving 2 motorcycles on Highway 15 just east of the Perry-Knott County line. 2 of them were flown out to a trauma center with unknown injuries. State police say traffic was moving slowly in that area for much of the evening. The names of those hurt have not been released. The field of Republicans running for Kentucky governor got a little more crowded today. Attorney General Daniel Cameron announced he is running for the Republican nomination in next year's election. He joins State Auditor Mike Harmon and Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles as state officers filing to run. In total, 8 candidates have filed so far. As Chad Hedrick explains, it is sure to be a lively race for the governor's mansion.
3 big names in Kentucky politics say they are the Republican that can defeat Governor Andy Beshear in next year's election. They're also being sued by the governor after legislation passed that would remove current members of the executive branch ethics commission and shift the majority of the appointments to the other state officers.
But all of us conservatives feel a weight of responsibility right now. That's why I've decided to run for governor.
Kentucky's Attorney General Daniel Cameron laying out his plans for Kentucky in a minute-long campaign announcement video. He was once considered for a U.S. Supreme Court nomination by former President Trump and has close ties to Senator Mitch McConnell, once serving as his legal counsel.
Team Kentucky needs a new coach, one who will build us up, not divide us. I'm Daniel Cameron, and that's exactly the kind of governor I will be.
Just Monday, one of his primary opponents, Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles, posting his own video a week after launching his campaign.
It's not been easy for us, but I know I have the proven experience to lead our Commonwealth to brighter days.
Nearly 10 months ago, State Auditor Mike Harmon first got the ball rolling, announcing his bid for governor, saying Kentuckians have had their liberties and their livelihoods stolen, throwing jabs at Governor Beshear's COVID-19 response.
His people sent out state police basically to take down license plates at churches, which I thought was atrocious.
The Kentucky Democratic Party was quick to respond after Cameron's announcement, saying Governor Beshear is one of the most popular governors in the country. A recent study from Morning Consult showed Beshear as the most popular Democratic governor in the U.S. and the 12th most popular overall. In Frankfort, Chad Hedrick, WYMT Mountain News.
There is still time for candidates to file, and we are waiting to hear from some who say they are considering a run. That includes names like State Senators Ralph Alvarado and Max Wise, as well as former U.S. Ambassador Kelly Knight Craft, who served under President Trump and is the wife of Hazard native and coal company CEO Joe Craft. Early voting in this year's primary election in Kentucky starts tomorrow. If you do not have to have an excuse to vote in person Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Now, the primary is next Tuesday, May 17th. You can check out a sample ballot ahead of time at govoteky.com. One mission in Letcher County is working to help families in need as baby supplies become harder to come by. God's Love from a Diaper Bag, an organization that's been working in family outreach for the last 22 years, set up at the Letcher County Health Department today for its baby diaper giveaway. Health Department representatives say it is a blessing to have the group work alongside them to help families in the area, especially as they deal with the stress of a nationwide formula shortage.
I mean, it does help to take, that burden off of families. Right now with the price of gas, the price of groceries, providing for their families can be very hard and difficult. So, for us to be able to do this to the community and help, it's a great service that, we can offer them.
The mission is always operating in Jenkins, and the diaper giveaway is set up at the health department every 2 months. Commissioner Ryan Quarles and Kentucky cattle producers are designating May as the month to celebrate Kentucky's beef industries. That's right, May is now known as Beef Month. Kentucky boasts the largest beef cattle inventory east of the Mississippi River and the 8th largest in the nation. The National Agricultural Statistics Service reports that Kentucky is home to 38,000 beef cattle producers of the 78,000 total farms in the state. Officials with the University of Pikeville recently announced its newest project and a generous gift. An anonymous donor gifted the university $25 million to help fund a new dental school in Central Appalachia. UPike officials say the mission of the new dental school will be similar to their current doctoral programs.
Our mission with medicine and optometry is rural, remote, primary care. Those are the things that we do really well. We're pretty passionate about that with our dental school as well. We want it to be a great fit providing dental care for rural America in general and Appalachia in particular.
President Webb said there is no confirmed name or location decided for the School of Dentistry, but prospective students are already calling the school's admissions office and are interested in learning more. In a few months, the people of Barbourville and beyond will be able to enjoy their own local drive-in. After years of planning, the city of Barbourville and Barbourville Tourism kicked off theater construction just behind Brickyard Park. Barbourville Mayor David Thompson says the concession stand, the projection area, and the drive-in screen itself is nearly finished.
We're hoping that this theater will be one of the many achievements in Barbourville and Knox County, along with the sports complex, our Stivers Center, which is Olympic pool, the other events that we host. This should be a huge draw for tourism.
The Knox Drive-In will also have a state-of-the-art laser projector and a playground for kids to utilize. In Boyd County, plans are in place to open a new horse racing facility. The Eastern Kentucky Equestrian Center is set to open in 2023. It will offer live quarter horse racing, wagering, and historical horse racing. The track will be at the former Sears building that's now the Camp Landing Entertainment District. The company says the new development would create 200 new jobs. The Kentucky Horse Racing Commission still has to approve the plan. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, a daring landing in Florida after the pilot suffered a medical emergency, how an air traffic controller and a man with no flying experience helped land the plane.
And then changes are on the way in the forecast, but not before another beautiful day tomorrow. The details are on the way next.
I'm Stacy Mead. When elected Floyd County PVA, I'll continue the work